as I begin recording. So, after triumphing at the Crescent Crucible, you seize the opportunity to explore Itzel's streets and experience its offerings. Lisker and Vellum decided discussed his trauma and the town's current situation about missing people. You encountered performers questioned by the guards about some sort of distinct symbol. In the moonlit markets, a parade welcomed the renowned fire nymphs, while Angus visited Couture to acquire elegant attire for the exclusive Ember Room. Upon returning to the Crescent Falls, everyone except Lisker settled in. Meanwhile, Lisker unintentionally caused a concussion during a street arena. Dejar declined a curse removal offer, but enjoyed elemental baths and mushroom-infused beverage discussions with Grunker. Sayun, Vellum and Lisker sought relaxation in rejuvenating massages and scented baths, with Sayun sharing her experiences growing up in the Empire of the Celestial Dragon. Meanwhile, Dejar, Angus, Grunker and Vellum delved into dream magic sessions with Thalandra, a satyr therapist. Thalandra spoke with you all, discussing your various dreams, and then kind of sent you off to your various dream realms in your sleep. You all had each very, very profound and immersive experiences. Dejar found herself in a choking desert of the Sulphur Sea, confronting her inner demons and memories of a forgotten past. Breaking free from those memories, she awakened to a possible new understanding of her path and potential. Vellum's dream took him back to Mortholm, where he faced his deepest mortal fears, the darkness that threatened to consume the sunlight of his sunblade, representing his fears surrounding Mortithax. Confronting the vision, he struggled to overcome his own demons and barely managed to emerge victorious, realizing that his fear was merely a feeble shadow of its former self. Grunker's dream was vivid and intense, but it seemed to be a memory not of his own. He witnessed the final moments of Incendrus the Scarmaker, a living weapon conjured by the elemental spirits during the primordial war against the High Heavens. Battle after battle unfolded, until the High Heavens unleashed a cataclysmic spell that obliterated Incendrus' physical form. Meanwhile, Angus, in his reoccurring dream, found himself in the magma cave once more. But this time, the darkness was banished. With the Rune Lord's ring around his neck and the Grimhammer at his side, he traversed a metallic bridge spanning this lake of molten iron. The dream revealed his ancestral lineage, connecting him to 2 more generations who lived during the War of the Undying. It became clear that Angus may possess the blood of a lesser ancestor god, Kazmorg, the dwarven god of war and storms. One of many noble-blooded dwarves. Upon awakening, Grunker erupted in a brief wave of flame, unlocking a new trait in his legendary axe. The group discussed their dreams, and while some decided to retire for the night, Angus remained awake. So, Hammerstrike, what would you like to do?
Is there anything you would like to do before Angus goes on his little adventure? Any walking home conversations, stuff like that, whatever?
I don't really have anything right now to do with Sao besides just chilling, so you're free to do.
Straight chillin'. Okay. If that is the case, then I would like to make my way towards the Ember Room.
Alright. One sec, Foundry's just locked me out for some godforsaken reason. There we go. Okay. So, you head out into the streets of Itzel. Let me go ahead and... There we go. We're just getting things set back up here. Come on, Sirenscape. There we go.
He's fucking dead, dude!
Okay, so, making your way towards the Ember Room. Kind of asking around, you are led to this very imposing structure, which stands tall and proud among the surrounding buildings. The exterior is made of this is sort of dark volcanic stone, with intricate carvings of fire and flames adorning the walls. The entrance is this sort of large, heavy wooden door with metal studs, flanked by two torches that sort of burn with this fierce, unwavering flame. Above the entrance is this large sign in Tosian and sort of beneath it you can see the smaller trade tongue translation, the Ember Room, in gold lettering. And each level of this temple-like ziggurat structure is sort of adorned with these intricate carvings and symbols of Zalazos, the goddess of fire, destruction, rebirth, and natural disasters. At the top of the ziggurat is a large platform that serves as some sort of outdoor lounge, presumably offering patrons a stunning view of the city and the surrounding mountains. The large banners bearing the symbol of Kajitar, or the Kingdom of Kajitar, which is this stylized exploding volcano hanging from the upper levels of the building, kind of swaying gently in the nighttime wind. The base of the structure itself is surrounded by these wide canals that allow for small boat tours to pass nearby, filled with clear water that reflects the fiery glow of the torches and braziers that illuminates the area. A single narrow bridge, sort of decorated with intricate carvings of serpents, sort of spans over the moat, leading towards the entrance of the Ember Room. And you can see, flanking either side of the entrance are these two tall, burly-looking gentlemen, sort of arms folded, just keeping an eye out. And they're dressed very formally in these sort of brightly coloured, gold-trimmed robes.
Angus will take a moment to run his hand across some of the stone, just the nice work nearby.
A little bit quiet.
A little bit of the carvings. Oh, there we go. Oh, there you go. That better?
Yep.
There you go. He'll appreciate some of the carvings, the details and the works on it, and just sort of, use his artisanal eye and judge up the work a bit. Obviously, this is very well made. As he does, he'll approach up to the two gentlemen that are obviously guarding the door, look up to them and just say, "Hello.
They both kind of look down towards you, give you a very discerning glower. One of them goes, "You'll be with the escort."
He said, "You be with the escort?"
Yes. Are you with the escort?
Oh no! Do I lie to see something cool?
This is on you, mate. You make the choice. Would Angus do this?
The partygoer's conundrum. Do I lie and crash a cooler party?
Oh, but Angus doesn't lie.
What are you
Not
doing?
originally, but I'm here for that now.
'I'll say because of, like the sheer craftsmanship of your armor. Just make me a persuasion check with advantage.
Hey, let me pull up my character sheet.
Would be helpful.
Yes.
23.
Ah, yes. Because the armor is totally worth like 5 times your yearly salary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of give each other a discerning look to each other, then back down to you. Then they nod. This sort of stoic silence to them as they kind of cross their arms. You can just about see as one of them sort of flexes their biceps in sleeveless robes, just sort of sizing you up a bit. And they both sort of stand aside and kind of creak open the metal door for you. And this warm orange glow kind of bathes you in warmth from the inside.
Very nice. He'll give each of the gentlemen a small kind of knowing smile and a nod, and he kind of straightens himself up, gets a little bit more professional, and he enters.
All right. Oh, hang on. Did I actually set up a fucking thing for this?
Yes.
I hope so. You've had at least one.
Said you were well prepared.
I might have misplaced the fucking the ambience. Oh no!
I was about to say, I thought you were going to say I misplaced the amp.
Phew, okay, here we go.
An
Here we
entire
go.
building has vanished. It's like, we'd like to let you in, but magical shenanigans have made the entire building disappear.
Magical bullshit.
Honestly, that
I
sounds
mean-
like a really good start to a small mysterious adventure.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's like, there's another party on the inside doing a murder mystery plot.
You're part of the cleanup crew.
So, the interior of the Ember Room is equally as impressive as its exterior. Upon entering, you're greeted by this grand foyer and hall with polished stone floors, intricately carved pillars adorned with gold accents. The lighting is dim but warm, providing this cozy and sort of intimate atmosphere despite its grand size. The walls are covered in these richly coloured tapestries. The main seating area is located in this large hall, which is sort of dominated by this grand fire pit in the centre, providing a comforting sort of warmth on colder evenings. The seating options are luxurious, with the wide stone sort of lounging areas plush with soft pillows and rich fabrics accented with gold trim. You can see a second floor further up. An exotic dancer prances and spins around a ringed platform surrounding the fire pit, dressed in an outfit of these sort of bright red feathers meant to accentuate her curves, shall we say. She weaves her hands in the air, summoning this trail of flame from the brazier to add some sort of flair to her routine, like a sort of ribbon dancer. You can hear live music throughout the Ember Room. Musicians perform on a small granite platform situated at the other end of the room, playing traditional Tojan instruments, drum beat in time with the dancer's routine. You see a very impressive bar, which is located at the back of the main seating area and is staffed by several individuals dressed in formal yet simple robes who are crafting exotic cocktails using ingredients you can see on the shelves behind them. Strange and rare-looking fruits, herbs and spices, some of which may have magical properties or be found in remote and mystical locations. You don't know. But you can see one staff member crafting a cocktail using a blend of chilies and chocolate to create some sort of spicy yet sweet cocktail. Another serves a drink with a strange and unknown brightly coloured herb. The drinks themselves are served in these intricately carved ceramic cups and glasses. And overall, the interior of the Ember Room seems to be designed to provide this exclusive and very sophisticated atmosphere for its guests.
Taking a moment to look around, trying not to gawk, but at the same time, appreciating it. That exclusive, sort of high-class environment. He takes his time and sort of pushes up his mustache and makes sure he's in peak form, as much as he can be now. And he surveys a little bit. The guards outside mentioned the escort.
Mm-hmm.
Are you with the escort? Do I see anyone else who looks to be as if they are security work?
Just make me a perception check as you kind of glance around the room to see if there's any people of interest. 15. Not bad. Not very high DC. Within the Ember Room, you see this eclectic mix of guests gathering to indulge in the pristine allure. Nobles and foreign aristocrats draped in this sort of opulent attire mingle with explorers and mercenaries of locally high regard, bearing marks of daring exploits. You see a couple of mages and mystics cloaked in feathered robes adorned with arcane symbols, who seem to be sort of engaging in esoteric discussions alongside scholars clutching tomes of knowledge. Performers captivate the audience with their artistry, while merchants and traders entice with exotic wares in hushed tones. Bards and storytellers weave enchanting tales, while the air resonates with the lively melodies of those instruments again. Amidst the dim yet warm lighting, the atmosphere pulses with excitement and intrigue, as guests relish in the pleasure of intellectual discourse, soul-stirring performances, and the taste of meticulously crafted cocktails. There's a veritable tapestry of diverse backgrounds and aspirations from across the dynasty and even from abroad, seeking solace and connection within the Ember Room's walls. Particularly, one thing you notice as you kind of look around this circular seating area around the grand fire pit, you notice a group of 3 dwarves dressed in ceremonial armour, each bearing the symbol of their clan on their breastplates, the Great Boar. One of them, a burly dwarf with this sort of bushy red beard and enormous moustache curled and styled to look like the tusks of a boar. He wears a chainmail kilt adorned with silver runes and carries a massive warhammer at his side. And he wears this mantle of dark furs, and his head is styled into this great ferocious plume. And right now he's deeply immersed in some sort of animated conversation with this highly decorated Tojan warrior adorned in gilded splint armor. There's two large dinosaur skulls adorning each of his pauldrons, and the skin of a displacer beast adorns his mantle. The symbol of the Hunter's Keep is scarred upon his shoulder.
Did I get let in because I was racially profiled as a red-bearded dwarf and they didn't know the family crest, so they thought I was with those guys?
Maybe.
Maybe.
They all look the
I'll
same.
take it. Alright. He is going to approach.
Right.
He's going to approach this Tuscan dwarf and the individual nearby.
As you approach, you start hearing the conversation. You hear the dwarf say, "And that's why we sailed across the Gulf to meet you. Components of these creatures in these lands are very hard to come by back in mainland. We need exclusive hunting contracts with your lodge, Vorsha. Our client specializes in crafting weapons and armor with rare monster parts, I'll have you know. And we're willing to pay a premium for your services." The individual he's speaking to, Vorsha, as you presume. I understand your needs, Grimbold. But the lodge cannot prioritize contracts for just one clan. We got to consider all of our clients equally. But we have a long-standing relationship with the Hunter's Keep. Surely that counts for something. Perhaps our Remiran branch, yes. The Tanzian branch operates independently. But, as I said, got to treat all of our clients fairly. Cannot show favoritism to one clan over the others. Then what can you offer us? We can offer you access to our hunts and services and our contracts just like we do with the rest of our clients. But if you got a specific request, do our best to accommodate it. But again, we cannot give you exclusive contracts. Yeah. Dwarf scowls and responds. Then maybe just prioritize the one we know that you've been sitting on for months now. Our own clan hunters have tried tracking them down and bringing them down, but they all just got slaughtered in an instant. That's why we came to you. I'm sure you know the beast I'm talking about. Vorsha responds. Yes, I know. I know the one. Our own hunters got close once, but recently our resources have been diverted elsewhere to a matter of security for the Empire. There will be little we can do to speed through your contract. Not unless we can put more slayers through their own trials on short notice. The dwarf is lost in deep thought. And he kind of glances out at the side of his eye. Notices you, Angus, kind of standing nearby, listening in.
He sort of reaches into the divot of his breastplate and full flask. He sort of raises his up in like a cheers motion as he kind of does like a back up, like look over him, like, "Hey, I recognize you," kind of look. And then he takes his head and he kind of does like a twist, like a gesture. "Hey, over here."
You're asking him to come over to you.
He's like kind of nodding with his head, yeah, in a subtle way, like, "Yeah, hey, to you, come on over. I heard that."
He kind of gives you a perplexed look, then it kind of looks at your armor. You hear him say, kind of say to Vorsha, "One moment." Vorsha nods. And the dwarf stands up and waddles over to you. And you are?
Greetings. My name's Angus Brackenbrick of Silverhearth. I couldn't help but notice your distinguished heraldry, as he gestures to his impressive Tuscan mustache. And I could overhear a little bit of a heated conversation. If the lodge here can't help you, well, I happen to be in touch and travelling with the master of the Lodge of Mayland. We may not be the local branch, you know, but we can still get some parts for you. I can't say we, as I'm not officially part of the lodge, but she's the head of it. If you ever heard of somebody called Liska, big tall blue lady, about 3 me high.
Liska Luna. Hey, I think I've heard of that name.
Absolutely.
You said you're... Was it Brackenbrick?
Brackenbrick, aye.
I know of an Angrim, Brackenbrick.
Aye, that would be me. It's a little bit of a different name. Angus is the birth, Arngrim is sort of like a... What's a... like a nickname.
Kind of
I'm
holds
trying
out...
to go back to that.
Kind of holds out the sort of gloved hand.
Holds it out right to shake.
Kind of forearm grip.
The firm, you know, forearm grip.
And
yeah,
see,
absolutely.
he's very strong. He's,
I could feel it.
He kind of squeezes your forearm. Brimbold Iron Tusk, son of Korog
Iron
Ogrebane,
Tusk.
current lord of Clan Beastbane.
Pop that in the chat for me at some point, will you? I'm going to put that in my journal.
I shall. Yeah,
Wonderful to meet you.
Party chat. You've heard of the Beastbane. You've heard of
Angus.
the Beastbane clan before.
I do believe I have, actually. It's a familiar name.
Hey, that there's he kind of points to his two other dwarves, the other parts of his retinue. That there is Ulcree Firebeard. He points to this this grizzled dwarf with this bald head, long beard that reaches to his waist. He appears to be dressed in this this sort of ornate blacksmith's outfit. This one's Gilda Stormfist. And he points to this tough-looking, no-nonsense dwarf woman with this short blonde hair, thick scar of her left eye. Looks like she might be some sort of skilled fighter or tracker.
Ooh, nice. God, I love the woman warrior badass tropes. If that's the case, he'll sort of raise his little flask to each one of them and kind of a cheers and acknowledgement. He'll take a quick sip, and then he'll offer it over to Grimbold in front of him.
He takes a big old swig. I mean, the fancy cocktails around here are nice and all, but you can't go wrong with a nice swig of ale.
One was actually recovered from a long-lost dwarven fort. I believe it's around 500 years aged.
Oh, I just felt the burn. That's some good ale. Gonna hands it back to you.
Yes, it is. He pockets that. Well, I haven't properly introduced myself. You might know me as Arngrim, but I'm Angus Brackenbrick, Clan Silverhearth, recent claimant and lord of Morthholm, and now that I've got through the bog and I'm exploring Tansia, well, I come by here and, well, I'm quite impressed to Well, see some kin this far out. So
Hey.
hearing you have a problem, I'm quite interested in help solving it.
He kind of takes on in all that information here. You see
Just
him
casually dropping some stuff.
Yeah, yeah. You see him kind of Sorry, just clear my throat there.
Mm-hmm.
There's Brackenbrook, Angus. You're the lad whose name's on everyone's lips whenever I hear about that temple reconstruction at Mountain Home back home.
Aye. Aye. That's my temple being built.
Can't say I've ever heard of a Morthal before. Neither have heard of any lord of such place. Where is... You said you came out of the Morbog?
Aye.
Oh,
It's
Cree.
deep within the Morlog.
Oh, Cree, have you ever heard of Morthal before? You see Ulkree just kind of shrug and shake his head. You see, he kind of looks over to Gilda. She kind of thinks for a moment. Let's have them both roll history checks.
Let's say something to jog it. Oh, you ever hear of Ferrickson? Bron Ferrickson? He'll gesture to the hammer hanging upon his hip and let it be visible.
It's a you see Gilda sort of her eyes sort of light up as she seems to remember something. Aye, my lord, I've heard stories about one lost home in the Morbog. Might have what's been an ancient necromancer temple that was taken over by deep dwellers after the Civil War.
Not either one.
I think that was must have been taken over by that Braun fellow, eh?
Aye. He was.
Yeah.
Roused the evil thing, right, I did, and got rid of all the black-scaled weird lizard people in there. If you've ever come across those in the bog. It's a tall tale, to be sure, but, you know.
Aye, you must either
Said
be
you're
in...
quite the craftsman.
Aye. The Morbog, you must either be an insane fool blessed with Raelof's dumb luck. Perhaps I'm underestimating you. No sane person would ever willingly traverse the Morbog unless they're utterly desperate.
Or having fun. I mean, well, maybe that's not quite as sane, but then again, I have... What do I describe it? It's a lot like a wagon made out of iron, with a cannon on it. It doesn't want to fit on a boat. So I kind of had to go through the land, you know? It's a bit outside.
I heard about something of that description that's been paraded around in Down Hollow.
Yeah, I've got it just down there near the resort, a ways back. If you want to walk over and see it at some time, you're welcome. Actually, I intend to come back tomorrow night, and I'll be driving it up here if you will be around again and want to inspect the craftsmanship. Oh, I know I'm spinning quite the tall tale, and that seems like it's a bit of a hard thing to believe.
I should sure like to see what proof you have of this whole thing about claiming Morthal.
Well, I can first off kind of goes to the hammer that is on his belt and sort of takes it out. Well, here's the hammer of the Lord of Four, eh?
Kind of reaches her hand out to take it, just to examine it.
It's a bit top heavy right now. I need to fix it up a bit, but still strikes a rune in the air through.
Kind of turns it around in his grasp, gives it a couple of light swings to try and feel its balance. Looks at the various runes. Let's have him make a history check as well.
Realize that might also be a bit. But I got 5 of these as he reaches into his pocket and slips some rings on his finger.
Can't say I've ever seen one of these before. These hammers. At least not one of this description before. And he kind of takes the signet ring itself, turns it around in his finger, examines it, and because this is a signet ring, you see his eyes sort of widen for a moment. I'll be a pig's arse. So it is true.
Oh no, to be fair. You're more of a boar's tusk.
Fair enough. He seems a little bit stunned by this whole revelation.
It's quite the grand tale I would love to tell you sometime. A point of it being is, I've come into control of some lands and gotten some blessings. You know, it's on the other side of the wall, but it's neighbours nonetheless from here and to Malin, so trying to build some good reputation. I hate hearing that you're having some problems. Well, I happen to love fighting beasties and taking little bits and bobs to cook up. And well, that Lyska Luma, she can cut a part off of anything and make it twice as valuable just for having her little knife work on it. So if you're having an issue with it and people here can't help you, I can talk to her and see about getting a little rush order for you.
He kind of thinks to himself for a moment. And you can see the sort of cogs turning in his head. He kind of leans in close to you and says, "How confident are you that the rest of the Dwarven Lords will recognise your claim to this place? Do you have any formal titles yet?"
I'm working on getting the one for Rune Lord.
A Rune Lord? It's a mighty high acclaim, lad.
Well, I can do quite a bit with runes already. I got a bit of lineage to work with. I've come across a piece of land. All the spirits still within it there are quite nice to me, and they say they're fine with me taking over of it. So, that's a bit of a blessing in itself. It's kind of hard to not be acknowledged when the dwarves still walking the halls say, "Aye, you're the lad," you know. Briefly talked to Tora about it, but
Yeah, you talked to the princess.
I've been up there a little bit, took the way gate up. It's been a bit difficult recently. Capital's not doing too well.
So I've heard.
Officials are gone, replaced with mercenaries. It's not quite right.
The Iron Guard, they've been a staple of the Silver Kingdom for hundreds of years. I think that they just get done away with in an afternoon. Replaced with some sort of foreign mercenary band.
Not right. You know, I didn't say this, but I've heard from a divining wizard. You'll recognise her by her long tail. That may be something not quite right with the king. As in, maybe some sort of magical influence on him, or something dastardly. I don't know why he's doing that.
That's a grand accusation coming from a mountain guard. And kind of looks at your armour again. Looks you up and down.
I'm not saying it is, but it's something that I've heard. So, rather than seeing it as something that's quite wrong with the king, I think of it more the mentality of some things need to be investigated to make sure all the royal family's safe. Which is why, that temple you heard about, Thor is taking refuge there. King himself, from what I heard with her, has gotten a bit mean. And so, got to make sure no one's meddling with him.
Well, that's worrying.
Aye. So, if you're heading back that way, be mindful that any honour you have and respect for your clan probably won't be worth the spit coming out of the mercenary's mouth that's now yelling the new laws at you.
He thinks for a moment longer. Tell you what. My clan has traded its fair share of oath silver with Clan Freefeather for many years. I've got a few connections with Queen Mara. If you can help me out a wee bit with the trouble I'm in here, Clan Beastbane will formally recognise your claim to Morthal. And I might also send a word of recommendation to the Queen herself to consider your claim valid. Bit of tit for tat, as they like to say in the political space.
That sounds quite fair to me. I was going to help you in the first place, just because I don't like seeing kin go without, but if you're willing to scratch my back, well, I'm happy for that.
Helping fellow kin is all well and good, but, well, these days...
These days, it's worth being a little bit, savvy.
Aye.
Oh, speaking of savvy, he's gonna look at the group. He's gonna pull out one of these. Oh, come on, chat. And he's gonna pass it over.
Okay.
I'd like to buy your drinks tonight.
Oh, well, alright then. Drinks on you. Hey, lads, lasses, drinks on him. Kind of looks around to his retinue and Vorsha as well. Now, perhaps I ought to talk to you about what it is I'm trying to hunt down.
Please.
Beckons you over to the fire pit where Vorsha's been waiting. Kind of sits down. This is Grand Hunter Vorsha. He's the leader of the keep here in Tanzia.
Oh, greetings.
Vorsha kind of holds out his hand.
Takes it firmly, grasps it with a good shake.
So what you introducing him for, Grimbold? Well, seems this lad might be able to help me after all. That'd be so. Hey, kind of Grimbold turns to you, so making sure to include Vorsha in the conversation now. My clan is searching for some unique crafting components here in Tanzia. I personally sent a group of my clan's finest hunters to scour Tanzia for the finest quality beast hide, only for one hunter to return alive. speaking of some great red beast, some sort of giant hunter of a giant eater of a tremendous size with blood-red scales and the crest of a trihorn. Yes, Dinya contacted the keep and sent a private delegation to hand deliver a contract to us. We tried making...
Oh.
Sorry, I just had to blow my nose.
No, no problem.
We tried to make good on this contract, and they very nearly killed it. But... there be something about that creature that ain't natural. Don't belong in Tanzania. After our first attempt, our resources be diverted elsewhere by order of the Emperor. Where we ordinarily cannot prioritize contracts by order of the clients to keep things fair. The beast that the Emperor wishes for us to locate and slay is of utmost importance to the safety of the dynasty. And where was it last time you found this big red beastie? Where was it exactly? Be the Tanzanian wilds. Grimbold nods. So, fellow kin, you think you and your grand huntress might be able to find this beastie and slay it?
If we kill dragons afore, we can probably kill whatever this is.
Having just mentioned that you killed the dragon, Grimble kind of blinks. Vorsha gives you a look. They kind of both look at you like you've got 3 heads. Come again.
I got the skull of a green drag rock still stuck in it, if you don't believe me. Yeeted it right under.
I don't understand the word
Oh,
yeeted, but okay.
Sorry, it's a halfling expression. It's to go with merriment.
You know what, I'll have to take a look at this thing once you bring it to the Ember Room.
Well, we can step outside and pull it up that way.
Take you up on that offer.
Just cause it takes a bit of space. But point being is, I would like to help with this little beastie bit. And if your resources are being diverted under order, you know, if I'm working with the Hunter's Keep underneath Liska, you know, perhaps it can be a transfer of contract, so that way still technically Hunter's Keep fulfilled it, everybody feels satisfied, a creature that's killing people is dealt with properly, you know, all the important things.
Grimbold sort of nods, impressed by your confidence. Well, then it's settled, Vorsha. Since your branch is preoccupied, perhaps you'd be willing to give Angus here all the information you have on this so-called Bloodhorde. They might be able to take it from there.
If you won't give it to me, you can pass a sealed letter with the information, and I can give it to the head of the Lodge of Mayland, Liska. And that way it's still within you, and I'm just the messenger boy. Does that sound even more confidence instilling for you?
Vorsha kind of thinks around and folds his arms. Very well. I prepared a dossier on the creature, send it to you. Make sure you pass it on to Liska.
I absolutely will.
Shall we meet here again? Tomorrow.
Tomorrow evening sounds great. She may very well join as well. If you'll be here, I might be able to convince her.
He nods. And stands up, kind of finishes his drink. And that settles it. Meet here tomorrow evening. I'll have the dossier ready.
Will we?
And the contract.
Very well. Well, gentlemen and lady, it was a pleasure. Getting a wee bit late. I need to get ready. I'm preparing a feast by the beach tomorrow. If you'd like, you can join us there. I'm celebrating some good news with one of my sponsors, but if you would like to swing by, I'm certain I could prepare a few extra plates and introduce you to Liska directly.
You asking all of them this?
He's offering both to the clan and to the hunter guy whose name Mr. Displacer Beast Cloak.
Vorsha. Vorsha.
Vorsha.
Vorsha.
He's kind of talking to both groups. Vorsha.
Go ahead and make me a persuasion check. Let's see. To be for the dwarves. No. So without the D4, because you didn't say guidance, did you?
No, I didn't say guidance. But you know what I will do? I want to socialize, damn it, up my inspiration.
Oh shit, okay. Stroll again.
Which
Okay.
one's better? Fuck! Oh well.
Vorsha kind of folds his arms. I'm afraid my schedule's a bit filled with these resources being diverted by decree of the Emperor.
Oh, Emperor's orders, I understand. It's just polite to offer.
Well, we'll be around then. Grimbold says, kind of looks to his retinue of I forgot the names again. Gilda and Ulkri. Gilda, Ulkri, you coming?
Perfect.
They both nod enthusiastically. Lane, we'll
Free drinks on me then.
meet you down at the beach.
I'll have plenty prepared tomorrow. Aye, at the beach. Just follow your nose if you don't see the giant silver thing.
Very well. I hope to see plenty of good meal and food.
Oh, there will. I'll have a little bit what's local, my own twist on it, and then some melon meat. You like meat and potatoes with beer, right? Hearty food?
You're not a true dwarf unless you do.
Aye. Well, I'm gonna go hit the hay so I can be ready and start cooking for that tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you there.
Right, likewise, Angus Brackenbrick of Clan Silverhearth. And reaches out this meaty hand again.
And he reaches out to shake. And to you, Lord Iron Tusk of Beastbane.
Forearm grip. Veins bulge.
Squeezing.
And with that, he's going to headbutt you, as a sign of respect.
Ooh.
You kind of feel a bit.
I like that.
Should make me a constitution.
Can I do a con save to try?
Yeah.
Yeah.
18. You feel a little bit dazed, but you manage to shake it off.
Hell yeah.
That's how you know it's a good one.
Nick. Well, with a job for the party secured, making new friends, flexing a little bit, and sort of seeing what I need and what's going to be around to be prepared for the next night, I believe everything I need to do here is done, and I would like to meet up with the rest of the group.
Alright then. So, heading back out.
Oh. Yeah.
Alright.
No. I'll wait until tomorrow.
Okay. So, returning to the resort to head to bed. All right. Not a honk shoe.
Not a honk. What if he's both? He's a honk shoe and a me.
It's both. It depends on how congested he is.
Or how much he's had to drink.
Yeah, there you go. It's dependent on how congested or ingested.
There you go. So, as you all return to the lodge, just the resort to sleep, returning to your rooms. Eventually, the first day of your vacation here in Itzel begins.
Could have fooled us with how much we got done already.
Yeah. You guys just
But the
Long
first
rest
day of
it is.
vacation, we beat the shit out of a bunch of animals. We went to town for like... And Lishka gave someone a concussion. Angus swaggered up and literally just went, "Hey, you want to see my dwarven Rizz?" Just
Basically.
fucking-
Ow.
And then flexed his new
Let me show you how to flex.
and then flexes his new slats. Here, drinks on me. Like a Chad.
And now for everything to go horribly wrong.
yes.
Oh, don't. Why do you have to? Don't you dare.
Look, if it's I gotta trick the universe. If I act like I want it to go wrong, it will spite me.
Yeah. Oh, we can't let him be happy. It won't go wrong. It's got to go just right. I love that.
I'll live most of my
Sorry
life.
if that took a little bit, by the way, boys. I was trying
That
to
was
rush
cool.
things a little bit as time went on.
Seeing Angus
But then
interact with it.
But
It's always nice.
I was just gonna pop my head in there, kind of look and be like, all right, nice, and leave. But then all of a sudden, hunters keep and plot, and like, wait a minute, we could get paid. Somebody needs money for an airship. We could get paid.
We could get money.
I shall
Money.
I shall add that as a side quest after the end of the session.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting
Awesome.
we have a quest log.
Yeah. Oh, remember to do the long rest thing.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I gotta make sure you hit your buttons.
Everyone take a long rest, please.
I
How?
already did mine. I'm going to.
Every day.
Very, very nice. Well done, boys.
Goodbye temp HP that I had for 5 sessions.
Inching out my spells as I should.
As you all awaken to the sound of exotic songbirds in the distance.
God, even the birds are fancy.
Well, they're exotic to us.
True.
So, does anyone want to say anything before the day starts?
Think we're good to start the day.
All right.
Day
As-
1 start.
As you all prepare for your days out, whatever that might entail, you hear at the door.
I thought somebody accessed the soundboard.
I'll get it. And the
Oh,
guy goes to get the door.
All right, you open the door and you see Varesh, adorned in a rather extravagant outfit. It appears she's gotten ready for the day, and has clearly made sure to look her best. She's wearing this sort of
Right.
stunning two-piece outfit made from this beautiful maroon and gold patterned fabric. The top features a sort of low-cut whipil, sort of scarf-like piece. Short sleeves. The fabric is embellished with intricate gold embroidery and beading in the shape of serpents. The skirt is sort of the skirt is full and flowing with multiple layers of fabric that sort of moves beautifully as she walks. She wears this thick gold bracelet on one wrist and these long dangling gold earrings that complement these sort of beading on the top. Her hair is sort of styled in these loose waves adorned with her trademark black feathered marigold. Two mounted folk guards are by her side, just towering just out of view of the doorframe. Is Vellum ready?
Oh, wait. He might be still asleep. Give me a second.
Kind of rolls her eyes.
Realizing that it's Varesh, he kind of like scrambles a little bit and shit, what time is it? You know, in the background as Jajar's going.
Yara just rolls her eyes and just goes to Vellum's door, knocks on it. Need to do that too. Knocks on it. Varesh is here, and we still need to do that cursed thing.
What time is it?
He just leans over to see the sky. Is it quite early in the morning? Like the sun's just past risen up, or
it's I'd say maybe around 9-ish in the morning.
He looks at the sky. Around early morning, around 9-ish. Get up.
I think I fell back asleep after prayer. Alright, I'll be back out in a second.
Alright. So there's towards Varesh. He'll be with you in a second. He was tired.
Very well. Is Vatmir coming? And you hear, I'm coming! And you see Vatmir sort of bounds out from around the corner wearing her usual raven feathered cloak to sort of partially hide her appearance. And she has her now rather weighty backpack on her, which holds the egg.
I just pictured her like a cat on a fucking wooden floor, and it's just like
Yeah, just
skittering all over the floor. Runs out too quickly, slides along it, and tries to fucking.
Picard says to Vadima in Sylvan, keep an eye on those two for me, please.
She responds in Sylvan. Don't worry, I will protect them. And she kind of puffs out her chest.
Fucking precious.
It gives it a sly wink. Thank you.
Then Vellum will eventually emerge. He's in his usual outfit because it's new and it's nice. So why wouldn't he wear it now?
Yeah.
But he's put effort into making himself look all right. Right. Apologies for the wait, Mr. Asmund.
Perhaps next time we are organized to go out on the town, maybe get ready beforehand. She kind of gives you a smirk and a wink.
I'll keep that in mind. Oh, Angus, did you still need me for that thing that you wanted to do with Jar?
when you get back from your errands, everything's fine. I have a lot of prep work to do. I need you to be there later. And he's like grabbing him in by the waist and he's starting to push him out. But don't you worry about that for now. Remember, get nice things. Get her get her some flowers or something. Something to talk about on the beach. You've got this, lad. All right, see you later.
Yeah,
He lets himself be pushed out because it's just a fucking stubborn Angus is being. He wants to say something now that he knows the fucking context of why he's doing this, but he just sighs and heads out the door.
Alright. And you make your way out into Itzel with Varesh and Vatmir.
As you go and you're making your way out the door, the final thing that you see is just this.
Oh.
Fucking that picture.
That's so accurate.
So perfect.
You got it!
Because you brought out the curse thing. Did you want to do that first?
I think it was kind of the plan, but it seems Angus is alright with doing it later. How do you feel about this, Spice?
I'm fine doing it a little later.
Okay.
Alrighty. Just wanted to be sure it wasn't cucking anyone.
Oh,
Hey,
oh,
it's flexible.
No. Well, only her husband, but he's not around anymore.
God damn it.
Oof.
Damn it!
I think you're gonna
just
go
done
do your
with it.
shopping thing, and you're just gonna have your fun little moment. But when you get back, it'll be like Angus is like, and now we're ready for the curse, and you can do your thing. You come back, your support, and then we can get the curse done, and then we go into beach cooking. That way,
sound good.
Okay. So
you're getting your fun flavor, but we're still gonna handle the spice.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Angus, what do you want to do for the day? What's your plan during the morning to early afternoon?
First thing, I'm gonna have to go with Dejar, and we're gonna start setting some stuff up so that way we're ready to go when Belle gets back.
Okay. Because this is probably going to take pretty much until you're ready for the feast itself. But
Which I still need to do.
yeah. So you wanted to try do something with the kitchen.
Yes, I could try and recruit some of those guys to come help.
All right then. So this would probably be one of the first things you do then.
Yeah, there you go. Tell you what, while I'm handling my things... Hey, Dejar, how about you join me? I have a couple of errands to do and get things set up for dinner tonight. And we need to settle some stuff for getting rid of that little scab on your forehead. Why don't you walk and talk with me while we do so?
Sure. I have nothing better to do.
All right.
So we'll handle that I just had a thing if we want to do some stuff with Vellum.
I'm okay with doing either. So what we'll do the kitchen thing first, and then we'll pan over to Vellum unless anyone has anything they want to do here. Nope. All right.
Okay.
We'll do that. So
I would like to make things a little brief and not go too heavy into roleplay, since I just had a heavy just me roleplay. I kind of feel bad going right into another one.
all right, okay.
In fact, if it's comfortable, can I sort of forsake that and say, well, sure, it'll happen at the same time early on, but can I let another player go?
I feel a little bit better than that.
Okay.
Have someone else take time.
All right. Well, we can.
I just don't want to do a back-to-back and hog a bunch
Yeah.
of time.
We can do the Vellum thing. So, Vellum.
If you're prepped.
Yes, I am prepped.
Hello.
Let me go ahead and stick you out in town here. If Sirenscape will, because I've had shit internet all day. It's been a bit slow.
That's fine. Question.
Yes.
Is this fancy for Rasmus or for us? Like, by our standards, or like, is it fancier for her usual stadium dress?
It's more comfortable for her. She's not as extravagant as she's usually dressed.
Okay, so not as fancy, but she seems more relaxed, more comfortable.
Yeah. And it's kind of make your way through the Moonlit Markets. There's this sense of excitement and wonder coming from Vadmir. The sights, the sounds and smells of the bustling bazaar all around you, everywhere you look. There's vendors selling all sorts of wares, from intricately carved wooden masks to brightly coloured textiles and even live animals. Varesh, being familiar with Itzel, sort of leads the way, pointing out interesting stalls and vendors along the way. Two mountain folk sort of nearby just tower over the crowds, which the crowds give them a wide berth and makes it a lot easier for you and Vadmir to navigate them. She seems very familiar with this place. Vadmir is particularly excited by the colourful feathers, feathered headdresses and sort of beaded jewellery on display at one stall, while Varesh is drawn to more ornate furniture and decor on offer.
Well, Velen will keep an eye on Vadmir, obviously, make sure she doesn't wander off too much. Yeah. But he will generally stick, like, next to, if not, like, nearby Rasmus.
Yep. As you kind of make your way through the bustling market, you do notice Vadmir's eyes sort of light up as she gazes upon this vibrant display of exotic plants and flowers, and then her attention is very quickly drawn to the colourful parrots and macaws perched above the vendor's head. And she sort of marvels at their bright feathers. It's at that point that Varesh notices Vadmir's fascination and sort of leans down to her. Do you like birds? Vadmir sort of nods enthusiastically. I love the colours. Where I'm from, there's lots of colourful birds. And Varesh gives a smile and continues. Well, did you know that a lot of flying creatures here in the dynasty have brightly coloured feathers? And you know, interestingly, a lot of birds are actually descendants from dinosaurs. And Vadmir kind of looks up at Varesh with this puzzled expression. What? That can't be right. Varesh kind of chuckles. It's true. Have you ever heard of the Archaeopteryx? Vadmir shakes her head. No. And Varesh explains. Well, the Archaeopteryx is a dinosaur that's believed to have been one of the earliest birds. They come in all sorts of colours. Some even have deep purple feathers like your fur, Vadmir. And her eyes widen with excitement. Wow! I want to see one! Are there any here? Varesh nods. There may be some around here. Keep an eye out and see if you could find one that matches your fur. Vadmir sort of bounces excitedly on her hooves. Okay, let's go find one. And she starts sort of scanning the market for any brightly coloured dinosaurs.
Once Vadmir is appropriately distracted, he's going to sort of just, in a lowered tone to Rasmus. Try to be careful. I don't want her coming back with a pet. He says with a slight chuckle.
Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. If, I'm not sure she's quite ready for a pet yet.
Well, she's a very responsible kid.
Kind of gives you a smile. Where did you find her?
Found her during a trip to Doom Hollow. A little bit of a dangerous area.
Oh. On
Yeah,
this
she's
on this
been by
streets?
herself for a while. In the tunnels.
Oh, the poor thing.
Yeah, she's been a long way.
Varesh's eyes sort of blink in this sudden realization. You've not been putting her in danger, have you?
Of course not. Try to keep her out of it as much as I can, which is hard considering what we do.
I should hope so. You watch Varesh kind of come across this this furniture vendor selling plush chairs and couches, sort of frames woven from this tightly bound grass fibers and lightweight jungle wood. And Varesh kind of immediately sinks into this deep plush chair, letting out this contented sigh. Oh, this is perfect, she says, kind of looking up at you with a smile. We could use one of these for the feast, don't you think?
This sort of furniture appropriate for a beach setting?
Oh, I'm sure Madame Zanzul will love it. What do you think, Vadmir? You watch Vadmir kind of climbs into another chair nearby, and she sinks even further down, almost disappearing amidst the pillows. Yeah, this muffled.
Just a pair of hooves sticking out.
It's so comfy. See, she agrees.
Well, seems I'm outvoted here.
She kind of snaps her fingers, and one of her bodyguards kind of hefts up this massive chair on his back, and she kind of rummages around in a coin purse, hands off a gold or two. Gives a thank you to the vendor.
It's interesting seeing you like this, Razmond. I mean, admittedly, our interactions are usually just business and then you're gone. So, this is different.
Wait, hang on. I had notes here for a moment.
It's in the pins, I think, if that's what you're talking about.
No. It's conversation notes for Varesh.
Oh,
shit. Oh no.
Alright, 5 minute break. Panic. No, take your time.
Here we go. Well, it's nice to just let loose every once in a while. Don't have to worry.
I did notice you're dressed a little less to the nines today.
Sometimes it's, I mean, I'm not going to say that I don't like making a show. I tend to lean towards the more classic, timeless pieces. I believe investing in quality over quantity. I think a well-tailored doublet or a dress can make all the difference, but sometimes it's just good to be more relaxed in one's garb.
I can relate to that in some way. For a while I was wearing something from an import store, just out of sheer necessity. Until I managed to get this particular piece from a very talented seamstress in Cliffspire.
I've
Sort of like
noticed.
moves the cloak part of it to demonstrate its features and whatnot.
What sort of fabric is that made from?
Out of character, I forgot. Let me get that line. Oh, yeah, there it is. I think it's Panjin.
Oh, Panjan cotton. You know, I've always had a particular fondness for intricate and exotic clothing. There's something about the way the fabrics feel against your skin. The bold patterns, the unique embellishments that make a statement.
Well, it's definitely been a lot more comfortable to be wearing than my old lot. I'll put you in touch with her. She does good work.
Might I ask her name?
The name was Lucia. I'm trying to recall the name of the store if there was one. Lucia Lorna, I think her name is. Yeah, demon last names are always lost on me. But,
Oh, she's a demon. Does she work in Ambrosian silk?
I would like to believe she does. I
one of
admittedly
my-
only spent a short time with her.
One of my favorite fabrics.
Well, to my knowledge, she's still in Cliffspire, so I'm sure if you send a message of some kind to her, it'd be a good contact to have.
I shall send her a message. Hopefully likes to make clothing that would allow me to stand out from the crowd. Much like your own. Kind of looks you up and down with your current garb.
Yeah, I'm not used to standing out, but getting used to it.
It lets everyone know who you are, what you've achieved, where you belong. Much like myself.
I've been seeing a lot of different styles since I came this side of the ocean.
Oh, I've always had a preference for deep jewel tones, metallic hues. Catches the light in just the right way, makes a bold statement.
Usually, I'm learning that, well, the main reason I picked up the jewel craft alongside my usual work is the accenting that it can bring.
I've heard about. I've heard that you do jewel craft. You mentioned it. You mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, I'm not as adept with it as my metal work, but I'd like to think it's of some quality.
Well, it's accessories are just as important to any outfit. You tie everything together, make it really pop.
That it can, though. I don't quite know enough to know when not enough becomes too much, if that makes sense.
Oh, there is little that's too much, darling. I tend to like to wear things that sparkle and shimmer in the light. Oh, headdresses as well.
So I noticed, like I said, every time we speak, you're dressed rather elaborately.
Oh, you should see the collection I have at home. It's one of my little indulgences. One style is a reflection of who one is. I'm sure you've
And as a
noticed.
woman of means, you have the means to wear many.
Yes, she kind of she takes on a stance that implies that she's hot shit and she knows it, if for lack of a better term. I am Confident, bold, unapologetically extravagant. Why shouldn't I be? I've worked hard to get where I am. I don't think it's bad to show it, and I think the same should be said about you.
Well, I don't think I'm quite the status that you are. But
Nonsense, you've come this
getting
far.
more used. I suppose, but it's not just on my merits that I've come this far.
Well, true, you've had others to support you.
I feel like I do need to lean more into the mercantile matters a bit more.
Oh, I encourage it.
Been a while. I'm curious. Besides managing us lot and your taste for the finer things, what do you do with your time? I feel like there's an excess of free time to your lifestyle.
Varesh kind of goes quiet for a moment. With your passive insight, you do sense a hesitant contemplation from her, like she's reticent to say. Make a persuasion check.
Sure. I would have been happy to let it lie, but the DM has decided. 15.
15. She kind of looks you up and down and sort of leans in, lowers her voice. Oh, the music has oh, there we go. She kind of looks you up and down, leans in, lowers her voice and says, "My work beyond managing the fabulous hammer strike tends to be quite, hush-hush. I hope you understand."
I understand well enough, though, if I may ask one question. Is it, well, I wouldn't say above board, that's a whole different meaning. It isn't anything that I should have cause of concern for. Yes?
I should hope not. It may not seem like it, but, the Dynasty has plenty of enemies. I like to do my part, as small as it is, to keep them at bay. Let's just say I have my fingers in many pies. All I will say is it's dangerous work. It's not always the most glamorous, but certainly exciting. Part of me likes to live living dangerously.
Well, I can't say I understand it, but I can respect it all the same. I've had to ask because, well, in our line of work, it becomes a slippery slope to get into the wrong kinds of business and tactics. And I didn't have you mark as somebody who would resort to those kinds of tactics.
I like to think I don't. Though, you're not wrong, it is all too easy for people in my profession to slide into the darkness. But that's all. That is all I will say.
Understandable. You won't pry.
Also, go ahead and make me an insight check.
And do. Inside. Ow, ow.
Nope.
You know what? He said he wasn't going to pry, so apparently his subconscious said, you know what? Same.
Yep.
Fucking 7. So sensing the awkwardness that brought about. Curiosity, again, leads me to ask, What's your, well, your deal with the madam? Seems like you've got a bit of a history.
She kind of has a deep sigh. Madame Zanzil and I have a complicated relationship, to say the least. We've known each other.
I should say though.
Yes,
Sorry, continue.
we've known each other for many years, and our paths have crossed numerous times in both professional and social settings. Our houses have been at odds for years. It's been a rivalry stemming back for decades. I was the heir to my family's fortune and grew to be quite the cutthroat socialite. But I wasn't the daughter of a priest or priestess, nor the daughter of a great warrior, so I was looked down upon, especially by Zanzil. She's always seen me as new money.
Entitled.
Indeed. I mean, I like to think I proved myself to her over the years. I got into the arena fighting business as part of my family's profession. And I've managed 3 teams, yours being the third. Third time's the charm, is it not?
Seems to have been going that way, yeah. I'll admit it does make a lot more sense, the notion of rivalry. You're
Yes.
at odds, but you seem to at least get along in some strange way.
Yes, I was mocked relentlessly throughout my profession as a manager for arena teams. The first team did not survive even one round into the Ring of Claws, and my name became synonymous with a flawed and over-eager ambition among the noble castes. The second team, I scaled back, attempted to train up in the Crucible, and they only lasted for 2 rounds. But I did climb the social ladder in other ways, playing the games of influence and power that the nobles love so much. And that led me down to a number of exciting rabbit holes. And then I found you, the Hammer Strike, and I knew I had something special.
Well, I'm glad we performed to your satisfaction, and especially to spite those who would think otherwise.
Indeed. You are a true team unlike any other I've managed before. You have skill, you have courage, and quite frankly, balls. And with all of you, I know that we can all go we can go all the way to the top. And I think this recent fight has softened her attitude to me. I like to believe we can take advantage of that.
Oh, success as a way of doing that. I can definitely relate. Back home, I wasn't really thought of much, and much like you, my first attempts at making a mark, well, my metal work was often ended up as piles of slag before instead of actual tools. But, well, now look at me. He actually does sort of like a sort of arms out, look at all the armor type posture for a moment before mildly sheepishly returning to his natural posture.
I would say that is a success story. From rags to riches. Am I right?
Well, I suppose so, if that's the, that's that common phrase, isn't it, in trade tongue. But, I've never really thought riches. I hope you don't take offense to that statement, he says almost with a sort of wry smile. But,
Not at all, it's not for everyone.
True, I mean, it's a means to an end, but it's always been about the craft. It's been about doing the most I can and Maybe leaving some kind of mark when I'm gone. Also to prove a few certain people wrong.
Now that is what I like. That is the attitude I admire. Because fuck the people who doubted you.
Exactly my sentiment, Mr. Osmond.
As you kind of as you continue shopping, Varesh points out various decorations and furniture pieces that catch your eye. Vadmir excitedly hops from stall to stall, kind of taking in the sights and sounds. And she occasionally points towards various dinosaurs in the crowds, and she kind of gestures towards this brightly feathered velociraptor perched atop a vendor's stall. Is this an Archoperix? Varesh replies, "Not quite, dear. That is a velociraptor, but you're almost there." A little moment later, she kind of points up towards a small pteranodon preening itself on top of this residential building, kind of constructed from brightly coloured stone and adobe. Liska and I flew with one of these before. Is this an Archoperix? No, that is a pteranodon. Keep going, though. And she kind of disappears once more through the crowds.
I haven't seen her this excited in a while.
Oh, it's adorable.
Well, that's the perks of seeing a new land and whatever sights it beholds. Part of the reason I ended up over here. So, where exactly is your reach, if I may ask? As you seem to operate in Mayland as well as over here, of course.
Go ahead and make another persuasion check.
It's a reading party chat. Everyone's screaming at me.
She kind of looks you up and down. Well, I would say my reach extends quite far across Tanzia. Mainly in the dynasty. I do have some connections within Mayland. But again, like I said, I tend to deal with I tend to dissuade those who would like to see nothing more than harm come to the dynasty. That is my main concern.
Well, power of the mercantile is just as effective as a blade or a hammer in some cases.
Oh, I quite agree. Though, if it calls for it, a blade or two can't be too harmful. And with that little quip, she kind of makes her way off to examine another stall.
He'll move up next to her, and in a hushed tone, because it's sort of, well, he just speaks in a lower tone. There is something that's been, well, not so much bothering me, but something I've noticed for a while, and I hope I'm not out of line by asking what I'm about to ask. I've noticed since our last gathering in Dune Hollow, when we caught you up on everything, a change in you, and a certain lack of a particular ornament, shall we say. And he'll sort of look towards her hand, where likely a ring was. It is, of course, none of my business. I just had concerns. Not the bad kind, just of the well-being of our handler, shall we say.
Ooh. Her lips purse and thin, and she avoids your gaze for a moment, and she folds her arms. Make me a persuasion check.
He doesn't like to pry, but damn it, it's important.
You've got this, buddy. I believe it.
Well, did my best, boys.
Did you want to use your thread of fate?
I don't have inspiration, and I don't have my icon yet, because that is a mid-morning to midday type thing.
No.
Guess what? You can have mine then. Take my inspiration.
Really want to waste it? I mean, if you want to waste it on this, that's
It's not wasted. This is important.
Listen, you motherfucker.
This is important.
I got the fucking bonus power to say have a +4 on basically anything. I'm not there to help you with that, so I will give you this. Besides, this was your inspiration anyway.
Fair point. All right, carry on. I'm gonna re-roll them with
All right.
inspiration.
Oh, 11. 11.
Another 11.
What's meant to be is meant to be.
Yeah.
You know, it's a touchy subject. She may not be ready to talk about it for all I know. I'll see what an 11 gets me.
She kind of sighs to herself.
The sigh of a DM who wanted the roll to go good.
Yeah. Sometimes it just happens. I acknowledge the rather awkward outburst last night when I brought up my husband. It was unprofessional, and for that I apologize. I like to think I'm better than that. She
Well, you
kind of
have nothing to apologize for, first off. But it's been subtle, but I've noticed these sorts of things for a while with you. While I'm certain you're very capable of handling your own affairs and your own dispositions, it seemed like it was bothering you, or maybe your change in behaviors may cause you some issues later down the line.
He kind of there's a long pause before she says, "Yes, my marriage has come to an end, but thank you for your concern, Vellum, but I assure you I'm doing just fine."
Insight.
Make an insight check.
Is she doing fine?
It's
I rolled
14.
today.
Not bad. It seems as though she's still hurting, but likely wants to move on. You don't sense grief. You sense the tone of betrayal.
Ugh. What stall are we currently in?
Let's see. You kind of you've kind of followed Vadmir throughout all of this as she's been darting from stall to stall, and her attention's been drawn to this small stall hosting and selling all manner of small exotic creatures. In one of the cages, she sees this deep royal blue sort of winged dinosaur, similar in shape to one of the velociraptors. This one has these sort of beautiful full wings, sort of thin scaly legs with long feathers on them, a scaly face and large feather tail. It almost looks regal. What about that? She points to the small blue feathered dinosaur. Ah, perfect. That's it, dear. That's an Archaeopteryx. It's beautiful. Can I have one? Can I? She kind of asks very eagerly, bouncing on her hooves. Fresh kind of raises a brow at you, Vellum.
Yeah, sorry. As a player, I'm like, shit. What do I do? As a character, Vellum is pausing a moment.
Frisk.
Now, much as I would love for you to have it, Rodmia, I believe you might have a few responsibilities of your own to be taken care of. Yes. He's sort of. It's unsubtle to her, but nobody else would know. But he's referring to, you know, Egg. You might have your hands full already, and you don't want to try juggling things, do you?
Varesh gives you a nod, and just kind of kneels down to Vladimir and says, "They're also very high maintenance creatures, Vladimir. You need to spend every day grooming their feathers and preening their parasites. You do also need to feed them every day." And it's at that point Vladimir kind of scrunches her face and says, "Parasites? Ew."
Are there any that you've mentioned there's like all sorts of ornamental stuff in some stalls? Is there anything of the feathered variety that might match nearby?
As you continue walking, you come across a small stall selling these ornate headdresses and jewellery, and Varesh immediately gravitates towards that stall. Picking up this...
Continue.
She kind of gravitates towards that stall, picking up this beaded headdress and places it on her head. What do you think, Vellum? She kind of says, asks her, sort of twirling around, showing off her headdress. Her sort of her delicate skirt sort of billowing around.
Two things. Firstly, she obviously knows her sense of style very well, but from an outsider's perspective, can Vellum sort of see if anything in the stall would match better?
Make a perception check.
Sorry, I suddenly heard dinosaurs in my right ear. And
22.
Just because she can't have the bird doesn't mean she's not going to play with it.
This one, the one she's wearing right now, is a sort of vibrant turquoise colour. However, you see kind of a little further in the back this large, opulent-looking, sort of hidden by a few curtains and a few other headdresses. This beautiful maroon feathered plume of a headdress that if worn would almost sort of give like this sort of halo effect. Best way I can describe it.
is it like one of them oversized fucking stage performer ones, or is it more?
Not quite as big. It's
good.
Bigger than the one she's wearing right now.
Okay. Second question: is there anything feathery that matches the color or style of the creature that Vladimir was so intrigued with?
I'll say with a 22, you do indeed see this sort of royal blue, more modest headdress. It looks like it has this long feathered tail to the back, which can be worn and sort of trail back across her back.
Okay.
Much like the feathered tail of an Archaeopteryx.
Returning to respond to Varesh's question. Well, it is very becoming, Miss Rasmond, but I think, and he sort of moves over, reaches back to where he saw the more fitting piece, and pulls it out carefully, and on her head. I think this would look quite well on you, if I may be so bold.
She...
Presumably there's a mirror nearby that you can turn her towards.
Yes, there is indeed a mirror nearby.
And obviously he's being very delicate and careful, he's not just ramming it on her head.
Yeah. She kind of looks at it, kind of turns around a bit, and admires it. Perhaps I underestimated your sense of fashion, Vellum. What do you think? Would this go well with the outfit? that I have in mind for the feast?
That would depend on the outfit. Have I seen it yet? Is it this one?
You're quite astute, Vellum.
Well, I may not know a lot of things, but I know people and I know what looks good. And right now, I see a person that looks good.
Oh, thank you. Make me another persuasion check. This is for general attitude. Yeah, whether or not she's warming up to.
You don't want to have to tell me shit.
With a 20, yeah, to a 25. She seems to be warming up to you. It's at that point, Vladimir kind of jumps up and down in excitement, sort of tugging at Varesh's sleeve. Can I try one or two? Kind of points out it's just a random feathered headdress on the stall.
Well, that's just the thing, Vladimir. I just saw this one, and he'll reach over to where the other headdress he spotted was, lifts it out carefully, and then hands it to Vladimir. Why don't you go ahead and try this one on, Vladdy?
There's this look of wonder in young Vladimir's face, and Varesh sort of smiles at you, helps the young satyr place the headdress on her head, adjusts the feathers. You look positively fabulous, dear. And Vladimir's just beaming. Can I keep it?
Of course you can.
Immediate hug around the waist. Gratuitous thank yous all around.
Gives her a tussle of the hair and pays the appropriate amount, which we can sort out after. I'll just deduct the amount later.
Can we get some chocolate too? And as quickly as quickly as her attention was drawn to this stall in particular, it's immediately drawn towards another stall selling these small, indulgent, exotic spiced chocolates, hand packaged in small, handcrafted packages woven from straw and grass. And Varesh sort of smirks at her, and then pulls out her small satchel of holding and says, "If you don't, I will."
Very well. I'm gonna spoil that kid too much one day.
With what you say she's been through, I think she deserves it.
Well, that's what I tell myself. Childhood should be full of good things.
Agreed.
Oh, that reminds me. I need to see if we can find some scorpions. He'll sort of mutter as he walks towards, goes to catch up with Vladimir, just out of the blue.
Varesh sort of catches up with you as well. I'm sorry, did you say scorpions? We're not giving her pets, Venom. Especially not a scorpion.
Of course not. I mean, for cooking.
Oh.
That Snicker wasn't a character, by the way. It was just raw me. I was hoping to talk to Angus about adding something to the menu, and something of a Eastern delicacy. Just gotta see if they actually sell any here. But with such a huge market and a lot of finance coming into this economy, I figure I'm sure we'll find some.
Oh, I'm certain there will be plenty of exotic foods around here, imported from all over the place. That's why I like it here. Do have quite I'd probably say an adventurous palate. I do a lot of traveling. Grease plenty of hands with gold, and the Nexus can teleport you all sorts of places. Provided you've been there, of course.
I do get the sense you're one to indulge yourself where appropriate,
Oh, certainly.
and there's nothing wrong with it.
I love new and exotic flavors from all corners of the world. You know, some of my absolute favorite cuisines are the traditional dishes from the kingdom of Panja. The spices they use they're so bold and vibrant. It's absolutely intoxicating, the aroma.
Well, not everyone can handle certain spices.
Oh, indeed. But I do love the combinations of saffron, cumin, turmeric.
Well, there is one thing I was planning on using.
Oh,
He'll sort of rummage into his bag of holding, pull out just a singular sunstroke pepper.
is that
Not
what I...
really for the meek palate.
Is that what I think it is?
Well, that depends, Miss Rasmus. What do you think it is?
That looks
Once again,
very...
with the right smile.
That, actually, she can roll a history check for this, or nature check.
This is a long way away.
Yeah,
Well
very,
traveled, but maybe
very long way away.
not too bad.
Is that a sunstroke pepper?
Well, you certainly know your stuff, Miss Rasmond, and you are correct.
Well, we're not trying to give Madame Zanzel a heart attack. She gives you this wry smile. I'm not quite there yet.
Oh, I don't doubt that. This is more for my companions who seem to have a harder stomach for the stuff.
Oh, very well then.
Unless you think you can also handle it. He sort of twirls the pepper a bit closer.
She gives you a wry smirk. Well, is that a challenge?
If you're going to take it as one, then perhaps it is. I would be curious to see how one from such a colourful backdrop can handle one of the more exotic things I can offer.
Very well, I'll give it a try at the feast.
Sure, you won't be disappointed.
We say I owe you a drink. If I... Hang on.
Now she's struggling.
No, sorry, I'm just clearing my throat again.
It's fine, I know, I'm just joshing.
If we find my constitution isn't quite up to stuff, I will owe you a drink.
That sounds more than fair a bargain. And if it is,
Say you owe me a drink.
fair-sided bargain. Very well. And like I said, I'm sure you won't be disappointed.
Right, what else do we have planned for the feast, actually? She kind of thinks to herself.
Not really sure. I mean, Angus was talking a lot about mainly the cooking aspect of it, but I think everyone was just going to enjoy the... Oh, maybe drinks on that note.
Ah, drinks, yes. Perhaps
Well,
I
I'm
can...
not as well versed as some might be in alcoholic beverages, so I may defer to your judgment on this one.
I typically like fine wines. We'll see. I'll have to see if there are any bottles of this stuff here as well. Do hope there's seafood. Do I... it's one of my guilty pleasures, you see. Seafood.
Well, knowing Angus, if it's alive, he can cook it.
Oh, fresh fish, crab, lobsters, the shrimp, some of my favorites. Although,
You know, I may actually talk to Grunker. He's been very oddly adept at fishing lately. He once caught something from a bucket.
a bucket.
Yeah, I have no idea either.
She gives you this long, sort of awkward, silent look of confusion.
Yeah, that's the look I had when he first showed up.
Well,
Well then, alcohol.
do you think they might be able to style some of the seafood like one of those traditional Kitangi dishes? What's they called?
I'm not even gonna attempt to roll. Vellum wouldn't know jack shit about that. I don't think.
Sushi. That's what it's called.
Oh,
Bit of a
don't sound familiar.
a bit of a varied palette here in the feast, I imagine. Bit of citrus, herb flowers, a fresh squeeze of lemon, some cilantro or parsley, pinch of sea salt. Can very much elevate those natural flavors.
Well, I'll pull some strings. I know people in the kitchen.
I suppose Angus is directing events there.
Seems so, but he's always been open to cater into whoever he's cooking for. Even if a lot of it does involve quite a bit of heavy-duty meats and grease. But he can do basically anything cooking demands, really.
Well, regardless of what is prepared, I am sure I will enjoy it.
Should prove to be a very enjoyable afternoon.
As you and Vadme and Varesh continue to search for items to purchase, occasionally you'll notice Varesh sort of momentarily pause to eavesdrop on a conversation between a fruit vendor and a customer. She seems intrigued by the conversation itself.
Well, he suspects she has her reasons. I mean, it's not too odd to keep your ear to the ground especially in market settings as a merchant. And that's me doing Vellum's thinking, because I've probably already figured out what she is as a player. Anyway.
You kind of continue on with your shopping. You notice there's this vibrant energy and buzz in the air. And she kind of leans over, whispers to you. It would appear that the fire nymphs are in town.
Out of character, I wasn't there for the fire nymphs, or was I? I can't remember if that was during the.
I think you may have been there.
Okay, I'll assume I wasn't. Go from there. Yeah, I think we caught a glimpse of them yesterday. We were out in the streets and they were coming on through, or something to that effect. Very flamboyant.
Kind of thinks to herself for a moment. I do have a favor that I could cash in, but it would be rather late notice.
Oh, looking for providing the entertainment.
Indeed. And with that, she kind of snaps her fingers to one of her bodyguards. Kelek, dear, I'd like you to find out where the nymphs are staying in Itzel, and ask if they'd be willing to do a private show at the beach this evening. Tell them I sent you, and they will be compensated handsomely. The towering mountain folk simply gives a grunt and a nod and strides away through the crowds. Perhaps dinner and a show might liven up the evening for Miss Anzil.
Well, I'm certain she'll be blown away with the amount of weight your name carries alone, let alone what we plan on... How much we plan on furnishing the table, so to speak.
Alright. So is there anything else you wish to discuss with Varesh while you're here?
I'm gonna look at the notes, but while I do look at the notes, can I get a big bucket of fresh scorpions?
I don't have those as an item, but I can make those after.
We don't have to have them as an item. It's mainly for the purposes of cooking tonight.
Yeah, just
Oh,
want them
right.
fresh, still stinking.
Yeah.
Still staying. I
I'll
mean,
s-
you
I'll
won't be
say
opposed to still staying.
I'll say that'll run you about what's the cost here? I'll say just like, because it's an import, it's a bit more expensive than you're used to. I'll say about five silver.
Okay.
Each, or for the
give you the
bucket?
8 I have to also pay
For
the
the
related things.
for the bucket.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'll just take 8 off to pay for miscellaneous Vadmir costs.
Okay. Yep.
The Vadmir tax. There is one thing. It's Vellum will... One more subject Vellum will broach towards the end of their foray into the markets. There is one thing I would like to know, Miss Rasmund, and I know I've been very demanding this trip.
Yes.
It said you could tell a lot of people, a lot by people. Damn trade tongue. Sorry. It's been said you can tell a lot about someone by what they strive for. I have my craft, and while you are very adept in the mercantile scene as well as your other endeavors, definitely a woman of all trades and skill sets, but I digress. What are your goals? What is your biggest aspiration? If it's not too personal, then no.
I'll say, because of your previous persuasion check with 25, make me one more persuasion check with advantage.
Okay, I'm sorry if this is a little blindsidey, the conversation kind of led it to there. 21.
21.
Elegant courtier coming in clutch. Falsely amazed I rolled so.
Well, suppose one day I should like to hang up my banner. Make sure that it would put me at ease knowing that the dynasty no longer needs my services. It is dangerous. What I do is dangerous work, yes. And I do like the danger. It's fun, but there's always been a part of me that would like to retire, retire from my work. Maybe set up a cottage somewhere. I don't know. I never really thought about it that much. I'm a very busy woman. Leaves me very little time to think of my own aspirations.
I know that well enough. It's been a subject on my mind a lot lately as well. Everything's felt too busy to really think about myself. So I can certainly relate. Though, if it's not too blunt of me to say, Miss Rasmund, you seem far too young to be retiring anytime soon. a woman in your prime like you, it may be a while.
You know, just a little bit of a smirk crawl across her face. Perhaps I might have some years on me before that.
Well, no perhaps about it. I'm certain you'll do a lot of great things before you need to hang up your banner.
I should hope so. After all, managing the hammer strike is one of them.
And ideally, we're not going anywhere anytime soon. You're going to be stuck with us for a long time.
She gives another smile. Shall we continue? I'm seeing quite a nice stall over there. Some handcrafted furniture.
Your boys are going to be carrying quite a lot by the time we're done here.
Oh, don't worry, they're used to it. She kind of waves a dismissive hand, and
Sadly, I believe her.
the remaining mounted folk that's there, sort of carrying these large heavy sacks, this sort of stack of chairs on one shoulder, a large sack of other decorations on the other. You just hear a grumble.
Ooh, there is one more thing. Hopefully, very brief. I don't
Yes.
know. We'll see. Would you care to hear something? Well, it was amusing to me, but something I found as such.
Yes.
You recall Angus's odd behavior after the crucible, yes?
It was quite strange, I won't lie.
Well, apparently, I only recently learned about this. He was attempting to play matchmaker.
She gives you a strange tilt of the head and this quirk of a look, and this look that says, "Are you serious?"
Yeah, I thought I was just oblivious for missing it, but if someone as astute as you didn't even realize, then... Well, he's trying, I suppose. He gives a bit of a small chuckle.
I mean, I'm flattered, but I think I'd... She kind of goes quiet for a moment. I've had a few thoughts about partnership. It could be a weakness that could be exploited. I think I'd prefer to focus on my team, my work, and ambitions. At least for now.
It's interesting you say that. As I mentioned, I was speaking with Liska at the time, and she warned of the pitfalls of relationships in the very dangerous world we live in.
Yes. There are people out there that will... If you have a lot of enemies in the world, there are those that will seek to do harm to those dearest to you.
That is very true, unfortunately, but I like to think that certain comforts can be found sometimes. And if circumstances lead to those opportunities, then while nothing may come of it, it could also be something to be mindful of. Enjoying the moment, I'm learning. Living in the present. not getting stuck in the past.
You see a small, as you mention, not dwelling in the past, sort of a genuine sort of very slight smile creeps in the corner of her mouth. Perhaps. And with that, she kind of sinks down in another chair. Oh, perfect. Bellamy, you must try one of these.
Well, as long as I can get back out again. And he will sit in another chair, just especially because of his armor, he just goes even further down.
It's like being swallowed up by quicksand. You know that
It's like being in the stomach of a purple worm.
well, I wasn't gonna.
It's not in flashbacks. Like PTSD.
I think I might just the normal one, but feel free to get whatever you like. Sort of wiggle out of it, slightly uncomfortable by the notion of being swallowed by something.
So as the three of you finish up your shopping list, you and your companions are laden with bags of goods and a sense of satisfaction from a successful morning and early afternoon of shopping. Streets lined with colourful banners and decorations depicting this this stylized series of tall, gangly, ostrich-like dinosaurs mid-sprint with riders on their backs, giving the town this almost a festive atmosphere in preparation for presumably what was mentioned, the upcoming Gallimimus races. And last few things you pass by, this small stall selling a handmade pottery. Resh can't resist picking out a set of beautifully crafted plates and bowls. Vladimir spots a vendor selling embroidered cloth, and Varesh helps her select a vibrant tablecloth to add to the feast decor. But TLDR, we can hash out the total expenses for all the minor decorations and accessories later, but
yeah, I figured Varesh might want to be footing at least the majority of the bill, given
considering that
make a good impression.
Yeah, considering that you and Varesh are absolutely loaded with gold and platinum, it shouldn't be too much of an issue to sort of hand wave the total cost to maybe like a platinum or two. 5 if you really want to go all out.
You know what? Fuck it. I have one. You're fucking on platinum of it. Yeah, screw it. I have a 5 integer. I'll turn that into a nice round number.
There you go.
Yes, sorry for sucking up too much time.
It's your actually. Shall we pan over to someone else? Actually.
Yes, exactly that.
Let's see. Angus, you wanted to do the kitchen.
Sure. I'm down for that. Make it a little bit brief.
Alright.
If it's at this point, before I set off, one of the things I will do is I want to do my, what you call it?
Your what?
Thread of Fate. I want to make sure I have that for the day.
Yes, okay.
Since it's about 10, it's going to last me till around 6 p.m., so it should be fun. So, that's the case. He's going to invite Dejara along. Great, I'm going to go talk to some cooks first. I got to recruit some help.
Okay.
So,
What do you need
if
my
you
help?
don't mind... Sorry.
Alright.
Oh,
Sorry,
mine.
what's that?
What do you need my help with exactly?
Oh, for you, with your help, we're gonna go talk to that healer lady, and we're gonna... What's the word? We're gonna start preparing some things and whatnot for you and your whole... Da, as he touches himself on the forehead. You know?
Oh, right.
So I would like you along for that, because that's important. But if we can make a stop on the way, so that would be great.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna swing by that place real quick, just as on the way errand, if that's fine.
Kind of make your way through the resort. Kind of asking around, you are directed towards the kitchen itself. The first thing you notice as you step into the kitchen is you're stepping out onto this large, spacious, open-air balcony carved into the side of the cliff, which has this gorgeous view of the town. You're immediately struck by this blend of Tahitian grandeur, magical allure. The spacious chamber it's adorned with carved, clean stone cliff walls on three sides, depicting various previous emperors and empresses gorging on fine foods and feasting alongside vibrant flora. The layout of the kitchen sort of combines functionality with artistic elegance. Stations carved from polished volcanic rock provide ample workspace, each one adorned with decorative motifs. You hear you smell the captivating sense of fragrant herbs and spices intermingling with the sizzling pans and bubbling cauldrons. You see the shelves.
This is the place.
So the shelves lined with intricately carved wooden cabinets housing this treasure trove of rare and exotic ingredients sourced from the far reaches of Tanzania. Cocoa beans, vanilla pods, vibrant tropical fruits, spices with names that roll off your tongue like ancient incantations. Magical crystals, each possessing unique properties, resting on ornate pedestals, waiting to, in rare cases, for the most wealthy of clients, infuse these culinary creations with just a hint of magic to make the taste buds truly dense. You see, among the kitchen staff, which are dressed in these elegant robes adorned with intricate patterns, one taller, broad-shouldered, and rather jolly-looking gentleman adorned with in a spattered and stained kind of sleeveless leather robe approaches you. Dark hair, rosy cheeks and nose, and his black mane of dreadlocks is sort of pulled back into this tight, neat bun and sort of tied up. Oh, you must be Angus. The madam of the resort told us to expect you.
Hey, that would be me.
You
Are you
mentioned
the head chef, the sous chef here?
that I am. You mentioned preparations for the feast, yes?
I did. And he's going to take his little combat beret hat and he's going to straighten it out from, instead of laying flopped over his head, and now it is standing straight up as like
there
a
we go.
white chef's hat.
Yep. Huh.
There's a big feast that's happening right down on the beachway. You lads are the ones with the expertise of the local flavour. I definitely feel there should be something familiar there, and you're just the ones to deliver. This is a big chance to impress some very wealthy people that write very important checks. I'd like your help in doing so.
Well, my staff be more than willing to help, by order of the madam of the resort. I've been looking forward to this.
Perfect.
Kind of rubs his
As do I.
big old meaty hands together. Now, 3 rules while you be in my kitchen.
Eat.
Rule 1. Respect the flames. Fire be the heart of our cuisine, Angus. Angus, is that what am I pronouncing that right?
It is. It means meat where I come from.
You hear that, lads? His name means meat. there's a few chuckles throughout the kitchen. Light-hearted. Well, You make sure to treat the fire with reverence. Don't be reckless. Always be mindful of its power. Let it dance, let it mesmerize, but don't let it consume you. Rule number 2. Honor the ingredients. We hold our ingredients in the highest regard in the dynasty. Each one tells a story, a tale of our land and its people. Handle them with care. Let their flavors shine. Seek the freshest produce, the finest spices. The essence of our culinary traditions. And finally, rule number 3. Embrace the harmony. A cuisine be a symphony of flavors, textures and colors. Seek balance and harmony in every dish you create. That be the 3 rules of my kitchen.
Those are quite fair rules to me.
So,
Very familiar.
Ninja should have no problem taking control of these lot. And he kind of waves his hand up to the staff who will kind of wave back.
Right then.
Alright.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. Everything's a conversation between you and the food, and between the staff as well, huh? So, these are the ingredients I've got.
The chef kind of
What
stands.
do you think we could add? At that point, he's gonna.
Yep.
Oh, I've got all these different types of the stegosaur and the theropod meats, the
Would you-
hadrosaur, all the different
would you,
mushrooms and chilies. And,
Would you like to reveal that come the feast?
yeah,
Alright.
he's
So-
gonna go over all the ingredients, and basically this is the point where he's saying, "Hey, if I'm short of anything, tell me now."
So, as the head chef kind of folds his big old meaty arms across his chest, he kind of takes a step back, allows you to sort of take over with him monitoring, making sure nothing goes awry. It's his kitchen after all, and he seems very protective of it.
Of course.
But as you take charge of the kitchen, the staff eagerly supports your culinary endeavours. Their eyes alight with this shared passion for gastronomic excellence. It's working with
Finally, a gourmand working with other gourmands.
indeed, working in harmonious synergy. You blend traditional Tahitian techniques with your knowledge of native Malay dishes. The room hums with anticipation as you kind of begin to conjure the ideas for your meals. You have to be elsewhere to do other things for now, but you provide the guidelines, and you set them to it.
There you go.
And you're
So actually, there's something I'd be interested in doing.
yes, go ahead.
I would like to try and do something a little unusual that I haven't done before.
Mm-hmm.
He'll go to the head chef. How do you feel about me bringing in a friend or two to help me?
Well, the more the merrier, as long as they know what they're doing.
Oh, they know. And if I have to step away to help my friend here, well, they'll work on my behalf. Well, hopefully. I still have to negotiate.
Of course.
Alright. Excuse me for a minute, I need to step over here real quick. I'd like to cast a spell.
Mm-hmm.
First time I'm doing this, I would like to cast this spell.
Oh, it's fucking 6th level planar ally. Holy shit.
You fucking what, mate?
Played our ally. Time to
Basically.
call in some fucking
Excuse me,
big
what?
guns. Help.
Time to call in the boys.
Right, that does cost about 1,000 gold per hour. Just so you know.
So there's absolutely, but here's an interesting thing. The DM can adjust these payments based on the circumstances under which you cast the spell. If the task is aligned with the creature's ethos, the payment might be halved or even waived. Non-hazardous tasks typically require only half the suggested payment.
Oh,
well,
okay.
especially dangerous tasks might require a greater gift. So, I would like to call up some of my immediate ancestors with that. An otherworldly entity must be known to you, a god, primordial, demon prince, or some other being of cosmic power. In this case, my literal ancestors.
Okay.
I would like to call them up and be like, "You're the dwarven cook of the ages. Can you help me impress my friends and feed them? They haven't had a true dwarven meal here ever." And so my idea is to see if I can call upon. Let me make sure I get the actual name right, because I set it up before. Where I was talking about the different runes that we had, trying to make sure I get her name right.
Can I just mention this? You're in a kitchen in a land where they revere living spirits of gods, and here you are about to call down your family pantheon.
Yeah.
In a kitchen.
Well, I mean, if I say, "Hey, Folga, you did everything to raise lots of generations and people and the like. Would you come help show them the love and hospitality of our folks?" Maybe she'd be willing to do that. Oh, and by the way, Clan Here and Here is who's going to also be eating with us.
You know what? You show off, my dude.
So, that's my attempt.
So, please describe the visuals of this.
Okay. So he's gonna find an open enough spot. And with casting Planar Ally, it's a surprisingly humble thing. Rather than a big over-the-top magical gate through everything, he's just laying out what looks to be small, humbly carved little, like, just pebbles. Stone kinds of runes that are the letters, and he's arranging them out very meticulously and carefully, and he is spelling out this person's name, and with it he places down his Silver Hearth family little symbol on it, and he just spends the next 10 minutes talking to those runes. And he just talks to them. And he's asking, "This is what's happening. I'm really hoping you could come back and help me. Have you been enjoying things? How's all things in the mountains of Ysmir? I hope you're doing well. You know, I really appreciate what you've done already. If you wouldn't mind, I'd love to see you again. Maybe you can come help me." And, you know, as that's going on, the runes spelling the name would begin to glow, and should this person want to come, then there would be that great flash of blue that all of his magic has, as they would ethereally materialize from the earth itself. From earth we come and earth we go.
This brief whip of celestial wind takes form here in the kitchen, and you see emerging from that ethereal mist in the middle of the runes is this spectral image of this crotchety old dwarven woman, long braided hairs, and you can see kind of halted by her side you can see she's wearing this spattered apron, and holstered by her side is this large rolling pin. As you...
All right. What's this? Something about a feast, eh?
Granny Thulga!
I'm sorry,
There's
what?
a great feast going on.
Sorry, I can't quite hear you.
Granny Thulga! Is wee Angus!
Angus?
Angus!
Oh, Angus. Right. You say something about a feast, eh? You need me.
Aye.
You need old Granny's help.
Aye! A friendly clan is coming over with a lord. We're throwing a feast to celebrate.
Oh, a lord. Oh, my.
Aye! I won a tournament.
Oh, I'm happy for you, dear.
Thank you. It's 'cause of you.
Oh, I'm flattered. Quite flattered.
I have a bunch of friends and they're helping me make a meal. Would you show them how we do it back home?
You watch her. You watch this crotchety old dwarven woman sort of roll up her sleeves, and you see he's tattooed up to the nines. So these thick arms, a little bit of hair on them as well, and she kind of unsheathes her rolling pin, looks around.
Are these green horns here? These people I'm working with?
Aye.
Oh, I'll whip them into shape in no time. Show 'em my secret recipes.
And then she kind of wags
Thank you,
wags the
Granny.
rolling pin.
Is there anything I can do for you?
No, I'm quite fine, dear. You go right ahead. You go right ahead with that
You see her kind of stumble across her words for a moment and think to herself,
that arena thing.
Okay. I love you, Granny. Thank you.
Love you too, dear.
I'll be back soon.
and with that, you kind of the rest of the kitchen is just stunned by this whole situation. There's this.
This is Granny Thulga Ironheart. She knows some long recipes from around 650, 700 years ago or so. So, you might have something to learn from her. Thumbs up.
The show goes, you know what? This thing happens normally on the eve of souls, not here and now. But I wouldn't say no to help from age-old experience.
Is it alright if Granny helps in your kitchen? I have to step away, but that way, no. Somebody of the family line's still working here. You're the boss.
So I'm going for clean Dwarven here. Sure, she can hang around and help out. Again, it's just
Great.
a little bit stunned by the whole ordeal. And as you leave her to what you presume she does best, she kind of begins ordering around staff to the various stations, pulling out this sort of spectral cookbook, and begins going through some old-fashioned dwarven cooking with them.
He'll turn to Dejar and crank his head up.
She raised at least a dozen or two little lads, you know. Couple generations worth. She can whip them into shape, I think.
Anything known? I trust you completely on this. just looks a little stunned. The fact he just used something like that. I'm gonna have to ask you about that later.
Of course.
Just,
And that's kind of what I mean when I say you and I aren't so different when we had that talk before. And I hope me kind of showing this to you makes you know that I took what you said seriously. And, you know, I'm on your side. But I'm not on the side of that thing that's on you, so how about we go set that up to get that off, eh?
yes, that would be a highlight of my day.
Well, let's get to it. My business here is done. Thanks for hanging out with the errands. On the way back, I need to stop at the courtyard, and I need to pick up a dress, but other than that, that's it. Are you okay for one more stop once we're done with all of this?
Sure. You mean the cocktail couture? There was a robe.
My
I was
tongue
looking
don't
at.
work that way. But yes.
There was a robe in there that I wanted to get anyhow. Sure. Then head down there anyway.
Then, always we shall go. But
Alright.
first, let's take care of that curse. So I think we are off to the specialized healer lady.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, making your way towards where you last met her. Sort of. You do find her there, kind of entering that private chamber of hers, which is sort of veiled off from the rest of the temple spa. You see that the soft candlelight that flickers against the marble walls. You smell the air that's scented with the aroma of dried herbs and flowers. That aged, wise-looking woman with crow-footed eyes, and greets you once more. Etmali. Hello again.
Hello. I brought my friend. I mentioned
Hello.
last time of.
Wish to see about the curse again, yes?
Yes.
Very well then. Allow me a moment to prepare. And with that, she begins to set up a small thing of incense. Begins to arrange a small sort of runic pattern with various polished stones around this pit of soft and plush pillows here. And so you can see her sort of mentally preparing herself to go through with this. Would you mind closing the door, please? I would hope that you might understand the risks of this. Something like this might backfire.
Yes, my friend Angus Brackenwood here reminded me of this not once, but twice. You'll be the third person, actually the second person to remind me the third time about this. I'm saying that right.
Very well. If you understand the risks, please take a seat. We shall begin.
Alright.
As you kind of settle down in the midst of this this pit of plush pillows, she Itmali kind of looks towards you, Angus. Holds out a hand. My name is Itmali. Dejar came to see me about this last night.
At Molly. At Molly?
Itmali.
At Molly. At Molly. I am Angus. She's talked to me some before. I've dealt with some curses and things. Maybe I can help here.
Of course. How how skilled are you in the healing arts?
Decently so. I can practice forms of restoration, and I've been able to remove curses. I'm ready and prepared for one of my stronger forms of it. I know that I typically can uh, break a curse with it. I have two spells. One's much stronger. It needs one of these, as he holds out a diamond that he's been polishing.
So, now comes the question. Would you feel more comfortable leading, or shall I?
I told her a while ago that I would help, so I would like to lead. If that is fine with you. This is your business and your way.
From what I understand...
I don't want to impose.
You're not imposing at all. From what I understand, this seems to be a very powerful curse. It is better... We have every advantage we can here.
I agree.
Alright. So, Angus, how do you flavour this ritual?
Oh, right. Well, the first thing I would like to do... Oh, as apparently close my character sheet. Oops. Trying to think of what would be appropriate.
Think
Trying to find a specific item that I have.
Okay.
Have an unusual request.
yes?
Have, say, piece of wheat.
Wheat.
Aye, wheat.
An unusual component, but... if it works for you...
It just very well may.
She kind of gestures for you to go ahead.
Normally, you might attempt to channel something through a more specialized sigil, or what's the word for it? Something to focus yourself through. I like to make very ornate things, but I don't have one of those at the moment. And you know, in this instance, I feel even this may be best. My people, somebody called Helga. She specializes in healing and women's health and motherliness, and also a good harvest. Holds up the piece. So, in that regard, I'm hoping she may be able to help heal us through this. He's sort of my guide.
Of course, if she provides guidance to you in this ritual, then feel free.
No, he'll put down his little dune symbol next to him and put the weed over it. They're a pair, so the more the merrier. Okie dokie. Are you comfortable, Dejar?
Yes, I want to try something real quick. Didn't get a chance to do it Like before when I was doing my prayers in the morning, I'm going to, and she takes out something covered in a leather. I want to attune to this real quick. And he takes out the ley line dagger. Might help.
I think that would be perfect. I know that takes some time, and we do need to set things up. Wait for Vel. I would like for him to be here for you for support. How about you attune to that? Get ready. If we can get a hold of him.
Okay.
Message over the earring. At that point, he will talk out over the earring and he'll cast out to Vellum. Just say, "Hey lad, you're most of the way set up here. Tune into a bit of magic. Would you mind coming down to the healers? Into hut. And giving some support to Dejard?"
Yeah. I just finished up. I'll be there soon.
It's perfect. See you soon.
Was that the sound of him hanging up?
Absolutely perfect. Yep.
Oh dear. Perfect
I
timing.
guess Vellum will head on over.
Which, as Dajal finishes up her attunement to the Laystone Siphoner, Vellum enters through the curtain, or the door rather.
Alright, where do you want me?
Wherever you're comfortable.
Vellum will sort of go off to the side so he's interfering with the workspace. And just observe. He has no idea why he's here, but he'll be here.
Which perfectly goes into.
Now, I'll be doing a bit of magic. The head healer here will be helping. But you share a special connection with the jar and with your faith. And faith is an important thing when banishing a curse. Both for my power to be able to do so, and for the power within to withhold it. Even if you're just here, it helps.
Repeat the end of that, please? I didn't quite catch it.
Even if you're just here, it helps.
Well, alright. If you need anything during, let me know. And I'll be here.
So at this time, I think we're about ready to start.
I sent something to you, Janner. So, who knows? Otherwise, there's the greater restoration plan.
Alright.
But, he'll look to Dejar.
I would like to invite you to calm your mind. I want you to take deep breaths as if you were trying to sleep. I want you to go back into the deepest recesses of your mind. I want you to imagine it's a peaceful time for that.
There is a slight hesitation when Angus mentioned about taking and fall asleep again, but she's calmed down. Deep, slow breaths.
want you to find a happy place. Place of memory. Remember that bit of your... Remember a time when you could be at ease. Maybe when you were young and eating your favorite meal. You think of a time like that?
Yes, probably enjoying my favorite meal with Boris. Yeah,
Only as family.
and I can remember right now.
Now, won't you hold on to that thought? Always remember the taste of that meal, the smell of the room, the feeling just as that spoon hits your lips. Hold on to that. Hold on to that memory. Start to look out of the window of that. Back to the night accepted these cars. You're still in your safe place, but remembering the moment walk me through that time. How did you take this burden?
Me and Eisler just finished battling the race. We're tired. Wounded. It was a deluge. I had this burning desire to keep moving forward, despite the pain and tiredness. I ever rushed into the bushes, brought me there too. Saw something that didn't feel right in a dark forest. Me being tired, I didn't think anything of it. I only, I only saw a old lady with a wagon. In my tiredness, I asked her for refuge. And then she started asking me questions, personal questions. Then my heart spilled out. A Russian river that has been blocked for years finally just rushed forward. After she was satisfied with her answer, we went into our wagon. I needed to find these girls that were kidnapped. And there was not much time. So I gave up something important. He looks down to her dagger. Something very close. Almost had the same feel as this, but just vanish. Then I said I didn't need these memories. Ivor warned me that that would be how did he word it? A burden. A worse burden than living with the memories. I said I didn't care because lives were at stake. I had to do something or they were lost. From there, he placed her finger on my head in pain. Afterwards, I woke up. The mirror and the scar on my forehead.
What did you get?
The ability to scry almost at will, but it's limited. I've only
Gave
dared
you
to
a
use
chance
it,
to see?
not see, like see from afar, describe from onto another person from afar, as long as I knew or had something closely connected to them. And she gave me this, goes into her bag of holding and takes out a very stylized silver mirror. She gave this to me as well. So in exchange for my memories, the ability to see from afar at that very moment of who I wanted to save, or anything really, my immediate thought was to save the girls.
What memories did you give? Do you even know that?
I remember
It was something to do with family. That's all you know.
something to do with family. And she then takes out two journals. One that looks like it's been salvaged from fire, and then her own personal journal. These, I'm supposed to feel a deep connection to these. At least the few heavy chapters of my own journal, and this one here, but nothing. Like I'm reading a different life, someone else's story. That makes sense.
It sounds as if you have given up what you knew, what you may learn. The price is heavy indeed. You wear a mark, and in order to use it, you must look upon a mirror and see what you have thrown away, but never truly understand it. In your moment of vulnerability, openness and concern for others, you are exploited. Just as a wagon, a deep dark forest did not belong. Now something deep and dark within you doesn't belong.
Yes.
But nothing's for free, Dejar. You know that well. In order to get your memories back, you will have to learn to let go. That you can't save everyone, do everything. That sometimes you can't see the future, as he sort of gestures to the mirror. It simply comes. Are you truly ready to let go of that?
Yes.
All right. Simple enough. He is going to reach to his bag and he's going to pull out a very basic blacksmithing hammer. It's just a little ball peen type hammer. Gonna lay it down in front of her. When I say so, just smash the mirror. Okay?
Okay.
And when you're ready. So to start, I want you to think of that, what you just said in that event. I want you to walk it backwards in your mind. I want you to go from end to beginning as if you're undoing the events. Then accept that they've happened. This is the closest thing that they can ever be to undone. We have to accept that they happened before we can move past them. And you're steeled. Walk all the way back. Happy meal. Comforting food with Boris. Pull yourself back from that window of a memory and find comfortable, homely place where you're the one that's strong and safe. Nothing has power over you. And with that, he is going to lay his hand on his little piece of wheat over the dune's holy symbol. He will begin to recite a prayer. You, the mothers and fathers, I ask you to aid me. Heal those who have a wound beyond just flesh. One of their family, one of their weakness, of their goodness of heart. One that is a wound. Leave a mighty scar. Bring back the most valuable thing in life, from whence ours came. I beseech you to aid me. Come forth and remind them the importance of ancestors, kin. And with that, he's gonna do what?
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Ooh, he's almost as wrong as could be.
Oof.
So, nothing special there, but he's going to cast Greater Restoration.
There you go. Okay, so considering the power of this curse, I'm going to need you to make a spell casting check versus the spell save DC of the original imbuer of this curse.
So that is the point where I would like to use the icon of fate.
Mm-hmm. This is just a pure wisdom check.
My spellcaster. So it would be, if it's spellcasting, it would be my ability plus my proficiency.
Spell.
Correct?
Is this like for counterspell and stuff? If it's your spellcasting ability, then it's just your wisdom, no proficiency.
Yeah.
Okay.
If that's what it's like, dispel magic or counterspell.
Yes, it's similar. It's similar to dispel magic and counterspell. You just use.
I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, it is just a D20 plus your wisdom modifier. Do you have inspiration as well?
No, but I'm using my icon.
Oh, okay then.
I used my inspiration earlier. So, and Dejar, do you have inspiration or anything?
I do not have inspiration. However, I do have. Let me check my thing. I didn't. Oh, wrong thing.
If I had inspiration, I would give it to you, but I don't.
Only Sable had inspiration.
I do have, however.
You should probably go without saying that I am guidancing these things.
Yep.
Because
okay.
I'm putting everything in my favor.
I do have a spell, Intellect Fortress, that will give advantage.
Is it checks or saving
Mental
throws?
checks.
Double check if it's checks or saving throws.
Let me check
Difference
here real
between
quick.
the two. Mine is a check. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing a check versus their save.
Mm-hmm.
It is saving throws. Damn.
Yep.
Unfortunate. Ooh, wait.
Mm-hmm.
I have a potion of advantage I can give you.
Oh.
Oh. Well, shit. I'll drink that.
That will work.
Yeah, so I'll drink to that.
Damn, even I have.
Let me.
Advantage in the next attack, saving throw, skill check, or ability check.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll pop one of those. So this is just going to be the ability check because it's just my spellcasting modifier, so just raw wisdom.
Yep. That'll be with advantage. Plus
And
the D4.
None of the magic items or anything affect on that because that's for attacks, spell attacks or saving throws.
Correct.
Or DCs, right?
Correct.
Raw individual potency. So if that's the case, I do. That's advantage. I'm glad I'm using that fate, as I said.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
No, it's an item.
There we go. That's more like it.
Much better.
24.
So,
Even number.
as the soft glow surrounds you, Dejar, your senses become heightened. A tingling sensation courses throughout your body. The dark memories that were locked away begin to stir like whispers in the wind, as if beckoned by the light. Each shard of the memory finds its place, interlocking like pieces of a puzzle, revealing this tapestry of your past. You feel a rush of emotions, a kaleidoscope of joy, pain, love, loss surging through your veins. It's as if the weight that once burdened your heart has been replaced by a newfound understanding and acceptance. Hang on. The desire for vengeance no longer claws at your thoughts, but instead, a sense of peace settles within. As the cascade of energy emanates from your body, the threads of the curse sort of begin to unravel completely. The humble presence that clung to your being dissipates, fading away into the ether. It's as if the shadowy tendrils are gently pulled away by a tender mother's hand, leaving behind only the warmth of the divine light that now fills the room. Angus, your hands tremble slightly as you witness this transformation unfolding before your eyes. The dark threads, once tightly woven into Dejar's essence, slip through your fingers, resembling the strands of a delicate spider's web, and with each thread removed, you sense this release of suppressed emotions and a lifting of the burdens that Dejar carried. And in this moment of climax, the glow intensifies, illuminating the room with this radiant brilliance, and it bathes Dejar in this celestial aura, highlighting this the resilience and strength that lies within her. As the final remnants of the curse cling to that last thread, resisting its inevitable unravelling. But with a determined pull, you, Angus, sever the connection, allowing the curse to disperse into nothingness with but a faint, ethereal, whimpering shriek that you both feel in your minds. And you sense a presence in the background, enraged, before it disappears.
Let the memories come, and let what you cannot control go. Remember your kid. Are you ready?
As he looks to you, Dejar.
Her face
Can you
just.
remember them now?
Yes. I remember my father. Just saying that, tears rolling down her face.
He holds up the mirror and points it towards her.
As you hold it up, the room falls into this oppressive silence. The heavy weight of this silence sort of hanging in the air. A dim purple light pulses ominously from the last remnants of that cursed mark, Dejar's forehead, casting an eerie shadow across the room. Once warm and comforting candlelight flickers and dies, leaving the chamber shrouded in darkness. The air turns frigid, biting at your skin with icy tendrils. And then there's this burning sensation in your forehead, Dejar, as the mark disappears. The mirror cracks and shatters. And that shadowy presence you felt, Angus and Dejar, retreats and a collective breath is released. The oppressive darkness dissipates, giving way to that renewed warmth and gentle illumination. The candlelight flickers back to life.
Well, I don't think that would have shown you the kind of person you want to be anyway.
And he's gonna hand the broken handle back to her.
Takes it and I think it's better to melt this.
I think I know just the person for the job.
As he looks to her side at Vellum.
I can definitely do that for you, Joe.
He just hands the broken silver hand. But then she goes to feel her forehead for her forehead again. Like, what you feel, Jenna?
It stings a bit, but you touch it and just smooth scales. Memories flood back into your mind. Javosa, Siva, Shilana. All of them. You remember. And you remember what Javosa did. But how you react, Deja, to remembering the deeds of Javosa is up to you. So, I will get rid of that Spider Hag's mark from you.
We are so gonna have to deal with that later.
What else is new?
Oh, no. The hag is gonna have to deal with us.
Exactly. We'll get to her. We got a big shit list.
So, you can no longer scry 3 times a day, but you regain the ability to critically hit.
Hey. Magic powers back, baby.
There you go.
Full blast.
Congratulations. You got through the worst of it, and you didn't throw up. I have to say thank you to the Madam Healer here for their space. It was reassuring to know that you were here if anything went wrong.
That is a relief. She kind of. Sorry about that. I'll just clear my throat. She gives you.
Do what you gotta do.
She gives you a peculiar look, Angus, and she says, "How experienced did you say you were in healing arts?
Oh, a little bit. I haven't done a whole lot of healing. A lot of it is something I'm still in the process of learning. I try and practice and study the best I can as he taps some of the marks on his shield. But that was the first time I've done that.
Well, I'm glad it succeeded. How do you feel, Dejar?
Like I'm flying through the air. Huh. Very light.
That is good. To be honest, you have much of that. You have your friend here, Angus, to thank for most of that.
He looks to Angus with the biggest smile you have ever seen.
Oh. Oh, that's a sign of a job well done. Hey, by the way, you said your favourite meal was soup with Boris, right?
Yes.
Was Boris a dwarf?
No, he's like the Kalia that we met in the Moorbog. Just
because there was going to be some dwarven soup at the dinner at the beach tonight, and I was thinking, well, you might have some familiar tastes. But, well, maybe it will be a new one for you instead. And you know what's great about that? You don't know. That means it's an exciting adventure ahead. You don't have to know everything. Otherwise, well, you spoil the surprise.
It's not so much knowing. I think it's
Just
the burden of knowing. Yes, I know, but I'm being serious in this for once. It's lonely knowing a lot of things.
No. It's not easy being lonely. But it's hard to be when you've got family and you've got friends and a lot of nice people to help. Oh. That. How about we get out of here? There's a nice little place just down the street. There they have some nice mantles some snakes might be interested in. As he kind of crocks an eyebrow and gives a knowing smile.
I'll back. Yes, let's get out of here. It's still time in the day to do a lot of things. Especially with friends.
Speaking of daylight, you come along too, Mr. Sunshine. You'll have to tell me all about your date.
Wouldn't call it that, Angus, but on that note, do you know what sushi is?
And on that note,
We can leave there.
We'll leave it there.
perfect.
Very sitcom-y
Alright.
ending to it.
Yeah. freeze frame.
Well, it's good to end on a light note after that. I imagine they're saying that as they're walking out of the door into
Yeah.
the bright sunlight with the silhouette, yeah.
And I shall stop recording in 3, 2, 1.